What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's how I do this song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all of this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably up in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yala Van Zap's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Oh, hey y'all, I'm over here trying to get me something to lubricate my good throat, and did not even I did not even pay attention to Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm over here trying to pour some juice. Mm. Hey y'all. Hey. All of that good stuff. What up? I feel like I ain't did that in so long because I haven't did a review in so long. So I haven't done my what up in so long, y'all. What is going on? Hey, happy Monday. Listen, if y'all Monday been anything like mine, they got butter from the duck today. Let me tell you, they got butter from the duck today. So I am glad to be here with y'all, because that means that I'm done with them people for the day. Put a shondo in the chat if you are glad to be done with work for the day. Just put a shondo in the chat if you're glad to be done with work for the day. I damn sure know I am. So anyway, we are here. Listen, y'all, I'm going to be honest. The dossier today is so packed. It's like the people said, put everything out today. Everything go out today. Everything go out today. It's so much. I had to literally, excuse me, and I know I say that often, but today was one of those days where it really rang true. Like, there's just a lot of news going on today. So, yeah, we are going to have wall-to-wall coverage we ain't gonna have in-depth investigative reporting. We don't have time today to do in-depth investigative reporting, but we will have wall-to-wall coverage. We will cover certain things, but we don't have time for in-depth, you know, stuff. So let me say hey to y'all. Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper. Hey, Volvo. Hey, Cookie. Miss Trisha P. Janae. You getting ready for class? Ciao. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim. Hey, Boo. Tanya, my love. Hey, Boo. Oh, you back? I know you was over there in North Carolina. Where you was? North Carolina, I think you was in. Girl, I saw you be on them two wheels, honey. You be on them two wheels. I ain't mad at it. Um, hey, so Jeff, I got some news for you, and something you care about made the dossier today. So Jeff, so stick around, stick around. But yes, we are all Shondo. Yes, Tanya, we are glad to be done with the people's job for today because the people got butter from the duck today. We got a whole bunch of news. What's going on, Montrez? What's going on? Can somebody go over to the members only chat and let them know that we live? That we live. Somebody go over there. One of them hall monitors. Go over to the members only, or one of the members. Go over there. Let them know we're live. So they know we're here because they always complain that I don't tell them nothing. So okay, yeah, you was in Fayetteville, child. Yeah. Oh, this juice is good. I just picked it up. It's actually really good. I'm not a big apple juice fan, but I saw this Mott's apple mango. It's actually pretty good. It's really good. No sugar, 100% juice. I don't know if that's from concentrate, but it says 100% real fruit juice, gluten free, no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. It is from concentrate. It says water, apple juice concentrate, mango puree concentrate. So it does have concentrate, but that's okay. We here. It's good. I'ma drink it. It's real. It tastes like it'll be real good chaser. So maybe I'll mix it with some of my good gin later on. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm trying to think. Let me get the bad news out of the way first. So, and that's one of our headliners for today. As you probably saw, the four headliners. One of them was Busy Bone, not Busy Bone, Crazy Bone, not Busy Bone. We fights about Busy Bone. We will beat you down by Busy Bone. Crazy Bone is in the news, but not for good reasons. He's been having some serious health issues as of late, and so according to TMZ, he's been in the hospital since Friday. Hey Amber, since Friday he was coughing up blood. After which he checked himself into an LA area hospital after some tests. They're being told that doctors discovered a bleeding artery in one of his lungs, and they operated on him. Afterward, TMZ is told that he was placed in an induced coma with the idea that being that would help the healing process, but they're being told that the issue wasn't resolved and that the artery continues to bleed in his lungs. Now they're going to try and fix it for good. Um, Family members have been the only ones allowed to see him, and they're at his side now. His team is meeting today to get more updates. So that's the updates. That's the update that TMZ has, and that's as of 12 noon today. So we're praying for Crazy Bone and his family, certainly his friends, other members of Bone Thugs and Harmony, but certainly we are uplifting him in prayer, hoping that he will make a full recovery, and that the healing process can take place. So we'll keep him in our prayers. We like Bone Thugs in Harmony here. Bone, 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 bone. You know, That takes me back to high school, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm just saying, takes me back to my high school days. So shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. We are praying for you, Crazy Bone. I love you, dog, but the dossier today is a little too packed, and I can't spend too much time on any one event. Speaking of music, some would say, like, listen, I looked on my Twitter timeline and my Instagram timeline, and based on what people were tweeting and posting, I had to run outside and look up in the sky and see if God had bust the sky open, and if people and their souls were floating up into heaven as if this was the second coming of Christ. Because I knew that God himself had graced the skies again, and that he was letting all of his, children back into heaven to be with him for all eternity. And I looked up in the sky, and there wasn't none of that. And I went back and looked at my timeline, and these hoes is losing their goddamn mind because Meg Thee Stallion was on stage with Beyonce. I mean, people literally reacted to it as if this was a true religious experience, which goes back to my point. These hoes is in the whole goddamn cult. Like, go and look at some of these people's posts. I think it was Saturday. It was either Saturday or yesterday, where I guess Meg Thee Stallion graced the stage in Houston with Beyonce. And I'm telling you, people were posting and covering this as if the Lord himself had come back for all of his chosen people. And I ain't mad at, hey, you celebrate your people. But girl, there's one thing to celebrate or one thing to be happy. There's another thing for you to be. It's a cult, y'all. It's a cult. Hey, Xavier. It's a cult. Look at So Jeff. Look at him. He can't even contain himself. I'm sure he nutted in his clothes when it's the moment Meg stepped on stage. He instantly. Instantly. No, we aren't in a cult. We're not like you people. If Mariah and Janet were on stage at the same time, I would enjoy it, of course. However, I would not be like these people. I mean, when I went to a Janet concert, I know I had moments of euphoria there where I thought I was poured into an alternate dimension. However, I can be rational about this. You're not gonna see me, losing my mind. I had the experience. It was great. And I moved on with life, had a great time, got the memories to show for it, and we could go on like that. See how that works? Baby, I'm not flooding your timeline. I'm not coming on here as if it's the second coming. Just saying. Move it. I don't have time. We're moving on. I don't have time. I got the dossier is too packed today. We don't have time. Okay. Speaking of which, before y'all know what, let me get this out of the way now. Yeah, let me get this because we got a lot of spiky moments. Let's get them out of the way now. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender conforming members of our audience, it is now time for your Sugar Spike segment.
Oh God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major Sugar Spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major Sugar Spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major Sugar Spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Hey, Tracy W. Ladies and gentlemen, late bell will be at 5:30 today. Late bell will be at 5:30. And because I had to endure reporting on Beyond Skank, 15,000 word essay. Late bell is at 5:30. 15,000 word essay. I had to be accosted by all of this Beyond Skank stuff, and I'm in a mood. Late bell is at 5:30. 15,000 word essay. Who you mad at? Oh, this juice is extra good. Extra. Anyway, so I have an update for y'all. The update to this story literally came out like an hour after we got off of Silly Saturday. Otherwise, I would have reported on it during Silly Saturday, but it literally came out like 3 o'clock. I literally saw the update at 3 o'clock on Saturday, so I couldn't report on it during Silly Saturday. You keep talking about that lady and this. How is that a hate crime, Morgan? Morgan, don't tell me you over here. You part of the beehive. Oh, Morgan. Morgan, you're my girl, Morgan. No. No. Morgan. It's like finding out that your child is, worshiping the Antichrist or something like that. Like, it's so upsetting, Morgan. No, you're not over there with them. It's like finding out that your child is MAGA or something. Oh, oh God. All right. So we've been reporting on the story of Daryl George for about 2 weeks now. Okay. We've been reporting for like 2 weeks now on Daryl George. If you don't remember who Daryl George is, he's the young man in Texas who they keep suspending because of the length of his dreads. Mind you, he keeps his dreads twisted and up, so they never even hang. But he's been suspended since August 31st, I believe. Well, here's the update. His family is now suing the governor. Here for all parts of it. Here for all of it. Oh, you was already here. You was in the second chat. Okay. Everybody popping out the bushes now. Hey, budgets, weights, boom. Hey, Amber. Everybody popping out the bushes because I ain't going to have no understanding at 5:30. Anyway, a black high school student who was suspended over his locks, hairstyle, and his mother have sued Texas Governor Hot Wheels Greg Abbott and the state's attorney general for allegedly failing to enforce the state's Crown Act, a law that protects against hair discrimination. Daryl George, a 17-year-old student at Barbers Hill High School in Mount Bellevue, Texas, has been suspended for more than 3 weeks because officials said his locks, which he often wears in braids or a ponytail, violate the Barbers Hill Independent School District's dress code for male students. The policy does not prohibit students from wearing locks or braids, but it does place limitations on hair length for males, stating hair cannot be worn in a style that would allow the hair to extend below the top of. We went over that weeks ago. The lawsuit notes the lawsuit alleges that Abbott and the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton have failed to enforce the law, which went into effect September 1st. The lawsuit notes that the plaintiffs are seeking an injunction against Abbott and Paxton to compel them to stop the district from, quote, exposing their students to disciplinary punishment and disciplinary measures due to locks, braids, twists, and other protective styles that are alleged to be or that are longer than the district or school's length requirement. I'm here for it. I hope they get everything. I hope they get paid and broke off. Hey, Harold. Hey, Yana. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, Tracy C. Where you been, boo? Listen. We gonna stay on top of this. Y'all know I've been covering this thing probably going back to August. I think we first covered it back on August 31st, or maybe right after he got suspended. So we've been on top of this for a few weeks now. We're going to stay on top of it. We're going to continue to monitor the situation. The parents are suing the governor and the state attorney general. Listen, get all your money. Well, they may not get money, but get that child back in school, because now you're stopping his educational process. Hey, Diamond Onyx, just gonna slam your like button. There. Yes, slam the like button. You sure can slam on the like button. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button. What we looking at on likes? I don't even know that. That didn't even sound good coming out my mouth, because I never ask how many likes we have, because I don't really be I really don't be checking like that. But I've been told that I need to do it more often. Well, thank you, Diamond Onyx. Thank you so much, my love. Let me see where we at with likes. So right now we got 19 likes. That's not bad. But everybody who just coming in, y'all hit the like button and all of that good stuff. I hope they win yes, budget weights. I hope they win every single penny. Even though this is I don't believe this is civil. I think this is criminal. However, I hope the injunction does compel the governor and the state attorney general to intervene in this whole situation. Hey, V Carter. All right. So there was another sugar spiky moment, a video that went viral this weekend. Where's that video? Here it is right here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get this set up for y'all. So there was a video that went viral this weekend, and I'm going to show that to you now. Get this set up. All right. All right. So here we go. Here's the video. Here we go.
People are mad at this judge for skipping over the one black girl when handing out medals. Gymnastics Ireland said in a statement that the judge stressed that it had not been intentional. But the judge clearly looks at the girls several times. The name tags didn't even have names on them, so they didn't need to be assigned. Shockingly, no one shows concern for her except her one teammate. There's really no excuse.
So that's the video that went viral this weekend. That was a gymnastics competition. It actually took place last year. The competition actually took place last year. The video is now just surfacing, and it's heartbreaking. But this is par for the course. This is not in America. This happened over in Ireland. And so Simone Biles tweeted about it, and she said, where am I at? Why am I losing my place? Hold on. Lost my place, y'all. I'm sorry. She posted that it broke her heart, and it's heartbreaking for all of us. Certainly someone like a Simone Biles may have experienced something like this. She may know full well what that young girl went through, and can relate, can not just sympathize but empathize with that young lady. And so she's come out and called out Ireland gymnastics. They've come out and they tried to apologize. They said, quote, "We are off." Wait, where's the apology that they gave? Hold on. Okay. The officials involved said express deep regret for what they described as an honest error. They claim that, oh, well, before she left the arena, we made sure she got something, but y'all also made sure to embarrass her in front of the crowd. So y'all want to give her the medal when nobody's watching, but when she's out there in front of the crowd, now y'all want to make sure that you go out of your way to show your racist ways. And like they said, it wasn't like first, second, third place medals. These are participation medals. They don't even got no goddamn names on the goddamn medals. So you have no reason not to give her one. You literally purposely skipped over that girl. But that's a testament to what truly society is like. And it's not just here in these yet to be United States of America. This stuff is worldwide. This is a horrible place. But yeah, they trying to issue all kinds of apologies. I'm glad that Simone Biles, who's at the top of the sport, she's the leading gymnast in all of the world and probably the most heralded and decorated gymnast in the history of the sport. I'm glad she spoke out about it. I'm glad that she chose not to just be silent on it. And these things have to stop. And so we need more athletes to speak out on things like this. So I'm very glad that she did that. The family came out and said, this is from the mother of that young lady. She said, quote, "We're often the only Black family at gymnastics events, and this has been very hurtful for us. Now 8 million people have seen the video from Pakistan to Ethiopia. They can see this was wrong, but Gymnastics Ireland still can't accept it and say sorry." End quote. We also found out that Simone Biles was trying to locate the girl. She has located her, and she's been, doing FaceTimes and video messages with the girl, and sending her something to her and make sure she stays, she stays at it. So I'm glad to hear that. In sports like a gymnast, golf, swim, some of the sports with white people don't see us. Hold on one second, y'all. A lot of these sports, especially the independent sports, where oftentimes you don't normally see Black faces, a lot of racism and discrimination happens in these arenas. They oftentimes go unnoticed because these aren't some of the sports that you'll see on television a lot. So, and especially at the juniors level and at the when you're a young child trying to come up the ranks, they often deal with quite a bit of racism and discrimination throughout the tenure of their whole career in the sport. So we're going to uplift her. I don't know that I've seen the actual name of the young lady. I don't know her name. I've looked for it, but I haven't seen anywhere where they posted the name of the young lady. But we certainly are going to keep her uplifted and in our prayers that she doesn't have to continue to endure that level of racism and bigotry. In other racism, bigotry, discrimination, sugar spiky news. Hold on. We have to start to ask ourselves, is this 2023 or 1963 or 1953? Because these people continue to try to set us back 50, 60, 70 years, okay? So if you recall, way back in 2020, when the first coronavirus vaccines came out, the first doctor in the country to receive the vaccine was none other than Dr. Yves Duraso, who is a Black doctor. However, he is in the news. Why? Because people tried to take him back to 1953. How? Because he and his wife were in the yard and got hosed down circa Alabama or Mississippi back during the civil rights era. Let me hold on, let me pull this up. Hold on. My link just closed on me. Sorry, y'all. I'm usually up on this. Sorry, y'all. All right. Where am I? Where did you go? All right. So let me read this to you. Rosevanie Duriso turned 47 last year. Her brother and sister-in-law hosted a small surprise party to celebrate. Dr. Eves Duriso, chair of the Department of Emergency Medicine at Manhattan's Lenox Hill Hospital, and his designer wife Claude had about 15 guests over on September 17th of last year, a Saturday evening, for a 9-course dinner in the back garden of their gracious Forest Hills home. The occasion was especially joyous for Rosevanie, who had recently gotten engaged. Eves, who in 2020 was the first physician in the United States to receive the COVID vaccine, and Rosevanie, a U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services asylum officer based out of Washington, D.C., are Haitian American. And all but one of the guests at the gathering were Black or Latino. Among them were friends of Rosevanie's from Fordham Law School, where she earned her JD, along with attorneys from the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division and New York State Governor Kathy Hochul's administration, 2 bank executives, a New Jersey public schools administrator, at least 1 public defender, high-powered music industry player Rigo Morales, who co-founded the Recording Academy's Black Music Collective, and Rosevanie's fiance, the co-founder and CEO of a cybersecurity risk management consultancy. I'm painting a picture for y'all of the caliber of people who are there. Okay. The meal was catered by Chef Vanessa Contave, 2011 winner of Bravo cooking competition show Rocco's Dinner Party. But as things started to draw to a close, an unidentified white woman showed up with a large, menacing German Shepherd and demanded that the music playing in the backyard be turned down, according to an astonishing civil lawsuit obtained by the Daily Beast. When the effort to silence the plaintiffs and their celebrations apparently didn't happen fast enough, the party abruptly, forcefully ended when a white neighbor grabbed his backyard hose and started hosing the guests to get them to disperse, creating a scene reminiscent of 1960s Birmingham, when white law enforcement officers used fire hoses to douse, assault, and batter African Americans participating in civil rights demonstrations in an attempt to get them to comply and disperse. The complaint, end quote. That's what the complaint says. The neighbor, a married father of 2, identified in court filings as 48-year-old Marcus Rosebrock, allegedly turned his hose on the guests again and again, continually increasing the water pressure until they were not only drenched, but also thoroughly humiliated. Let me finish going before I have to break this down. Mina Q. Malik, who along with co-counsel Derek Sells is representing the Durisos and the others who were at the dinner party, told the Daily Beast that she happened to be in Alabama when the case came into her office. Quote, "I was appalled and disgusted that water hoses and German shepherds were being used against people of color in New York City in 2022, said Malik, a candidate in 2019 for Queens District Attorney. Quote, I was in utter disbelief. Everybody who attended the party remains deeply scarred from the experience, according to Malik, who said the host, guests, and caterers, quote, feel degraded and humiliated, and they were made to feel less than human. End quote. Baby, listen. This just goes to show you, white people, I keep telling y'all, it don't matter how much money you have, how much prestige, acclaim, how much you feel like you've assimilated into white America. They don't give a shit. They saw all of these black people, and these are some of the wealthiest and most, elitist of the black intelligentsia and bourgeoisie that we have out there. And they gave not a rat's ass. They looked at them. Oh, those are the blacks. The blacks. Proceeded to turn on the water hoses and get their German shepherds and say, we not here for all y'all gatherings, all y'all little black music and all of that. We ain't here for none of that shit. You niggas gotta disperse. Baby, listen. They better be real glad that they got this group of black people instead of my family. Because I don't give a shit how much money, and there's some people in my family that are well off, well to do, and probably I can see them throwing a shindig like this. But please be clear. Oh, y'all want to go down this road? This really the hill you literally want to die on? Because you might die today. Because at the moment, you can listen. Can you imagine the amount of money just in the outfits alone, the dresses, the suits, the hairdos, the amount of money they probably spent on decorations and the food and everything? And I'm sure that shit was laid out. But baby, at the moment that we all wet and drenched, all that's going out the window. Because baby, you about to wear this ass whooping. Oh, you about to wear this ass, girl. You want this smoke? Baby, you finna get off. They got the right ones. Because these are the ones who are going to say, you know what? It's not worth it. And I guarantee you a couple people in that crowd was like, fuck this shit. We finna fuck these hoes. And somebody said, no, it's not worth it. No, we have to do the right thing. We got to stand down. Where's Abby when we need her? Abby's supposed to be in that audience. See, this is why they got to have some of Tracy. They got to have some of us in there. Yeah, you want the elite of the elite, the bourgeoisie, and all of that. But you got to have one or two nuck if you buck people always with you. I don't care how high up you get, how rich you get. At some point, you're going to have somebody that's ready to nuck if you buck. Because in a situation like this, where these white ass people don't give a shit, okay, if you don't give a shit, we don't give a shit. Let's go. It's go time. When it's go time, it's go time. I don't need you to tell me to stand down. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Baby, we was over here minding our own black ass business. These fuckers came and bothered us. So they wanted to smoke with us. Okay. We're here for it. Here for all of it. You gotta keep you just a couple nuck if you bucks. Okay. Now, before I get to these racist ass white people, because white people gonna do what white people do. We are not the least bit surprised. They might have been surprised because sometimes black people feel like because they get into certain tax brackets or become friends with a certain amount of people that alleviates them from having to deal with a lot of racism. But white people never forget to be racist. You forgot where was security? Where was the bodyguards and security detail and all of that? You should have had security. And even if it wasn't for the white people, you got all of these exclusive people. This is just to breathe the same airspace over there probably had an whole air of exclusivity about it. So why didn't you have security or bodyguards or somebody you know, waiting for people at the door so we can make sure nobody crashed the party. So, you know, if little old me tried to crash the party, look at me like, nah, bruh, this ain't the place for you. Now go on back around there. Go on back around over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because when that white woman would have came up to my event with this German Shepherd, and that German Shepherd would have got flung over the fence somewhere or stunned, like you know how they like to tase us black people. I would have tased that damn dog. And the man, they say the man kept doing the water hose over and over and over. Girl, y'all better than me. Y'all better than me. I ain't got a lot of time to spend on that, so we gonna keep it moving. I just wanted to let y'all know, money don't mean nothing to these white people. I told y'all we ain't got a lot of time for a whole long investigative reporting on things. We're just doing wall-to-wall coverage. Okay? Come on, Morgan, allegedly setting fire to their lawn. Okay? So last week, if y'all remember, I reported on the very first transgender elected official in the great state of Tennessee. Did I not, on this very channel, follow that up? Did I not follow that up by saying this is Tennessee and we hope the best for Olivia Hill? But I know Tennessee, and Tennessee is about that life. We celebrated her, but I also voiced my concern. Baby, we ain't even a whole week later, and we already here. Child, let me read this. The trailblazing election of Olivia Hill as the first transgender person and transgender woman on Nashville Metro Council and the first trans elected official in Tennessee history has hit a stumbling block due to ambiguous Tennessee laws concerning gender identity. Didn't I tell y'all? Did not I say on this program some shit like this was going to happen? Let me keep going. Senate Bill 1440, House Bill 239, which went into effect July 1st, defines sex as, quote, a person's immutable biological sex as determined by anatomy and genetics existing at the time of birth, end quote. This legislation poses a concern for Hill and other transgender individuals in the state regarding using gender-specific facilities. The bathrooms or bathrooms or events or even what's on your license. Despite her historic win alongside four other women on September 14th, Hill is now navigating a legal gray area. While not explicit, the legislation may force her and others to use restrooms according to their sex assigned at birth and not their true gender identity. Hill shared her anxieties, particularly around providing her driver's license during routine interactions, like a traffic stop, telling them, quote, if I get pulled over for rolling through a stop sign or something simple and I provide my driver's license to a police officer and he asks if everything on that document is correct, if I say yes, I've just provided a false ID, which is a felony. The law's ambiguity potentially subjects Tennessee to a clash with federal non-discrimination directives, with the state risking up to $2 billion in federal funding. Bill sponsor Kerry Roberts expressed that the risk was worth taking despite these stakes. They say they don't care, they ain't getting these $2 billion. They're here for all of the racism, bigotry, and discrimination. Fuck you, federal government, and fuck your $2 billion. We good over here. We don't need your fucking $2 billion. We want to be as racist and discriminatory and bigoted as we can. Notwithstanding the legislative headwinds, Hill remains committed to her electoral mandate, focusing on Nashville's infrastructure and transit system. She emphasized her qualifications beyond gender identity. Quote, I ran as a qualified human to sit at the table. It just so happened that I am the first trans person, end quote, she said. The scenario unfolding around Hill's mirror a broader narrative of legal and social hurdles faced by the transgender community in Tennessee and nationwide, hinting at a critical juncture for the state's legislative stance toward LGBTQ plus rights. They would know it's false because, according to Tennessee, their driver's license has to match the gender at birth. But it's so much great. But by her saying, is everything on this true? And her saying, yes, that's not true because she's not a male. Even if she has full, gender reassignment surgery, even if she has full surgery, no longer has male parts, the driver's license still has to say male, but she's female. It's a whole, yeah. hmm Yeah, I literally on this program told y'all we were happy and excited for her, but I said this is the great state of Tennessee that in many cases are way more bigoted than some of the states you hear about in the news more than you hear about them. We'll monitor the situation and keep you posted. So, in other sugar spiky news, I told y'all we had a lot of sugar spiky moments. In other sugar spiky news, supermodel Iman boycotted it, according to the Jasmine brand, boycotted fashion company Celine after lead designer Phoebe Philo complained she was, quote, forced to work with Black models. Runway icon Iman is opening up about a racist experience she had with a major fashion brand. During a recent interview, the 68-year-old dished out how the situation prompted her to cut ties totally with the company. Iman spoke about the encounter while speaking to famed radio personality Sway on his morning radio show. According to the fashion legend, she was gravely offended after famed designer Phoebe Philo, who worked for the fashion company Celine at the time, complained to her that she didn't want to be forced to work. She didn't want to, quote, be forced, end quote, to work with Black models. And she went on to say, and so Philo said, am I going to be forced to use Black models? She's never used Black models. I said, no, there's got to be the right Black model for you. There can't be no Black model that's not right for you. Just by her saying that, I said, and I did this and I've done it, but never said it publicly. For the action of her saying that she has to have the choice not to use Black models, that's why I have never bought a Celine bag. She has the right to her runway, and I have the right to my pocketbook. End quote. Phoebe Philo is a white woman who works for the company Celine. A mess. This is not new. A lot of designers will tell you they want no parts of Black people. I've heard them even say, I don't like the way the melanin and the Black skin looks against my clothing. Like, it's a mess. It's a whole mess in a lot of parts of the fashion industry. A lot. This is Iman with one M. The Iman going back to the 80s and 90s. That Iman. That Iman. I mean, good for her. Listen, go ahead. What I wish she had done, though, I wish she would have been public earlier. Like, when this stuff first happens, give it sound, let it be heard, so that the rest of us don't go and support these institutions, and we can say, okay, we join you in this boycott of these racist and bigoted and discriminatory ass people. I'm just saying. I ain't mad at it. Shout out to Iman. But this is the world that you live in fashion. You talk to anybody in the fashion world, they'll tell you that that's par for the course. They'll tell you that that is par for the course. I think that's all of my. No, I have one more sugar spiky moment. Sorry, and then that's it. So I'm sure y'all have in political news, I'm sure y'all have heard the situation with Bob Menendez. Now, Bob Menendez, I'm not gonna lie. Moment of self-disclosure. Bob Menendez is an y'all want me to say more? I don't want to. Unfortunately, hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. How you doing, boo? Unfortunately, Bob Menendez at one point went to my famed Florida State University for, he didn't graduate from Florida State, but he went there and then transferred from Florida State. He even spoke at my college graduation. He was the keynote speaker at my college graduation. I remember. Fell asleep during him, but I remember he was the speaker. Anyway, but so all kinds of shit is coming out about him taking bribes and stuff like that. So apparently, there's gold bar. They're saying that they was, exchange this shit for gold bars and all kinds of stuff. Like it's a whole ordeal. Well, anyway, the feds, when they went and raided his house and stuff, they found $480,000 in cash. That's almost $500,000. That's almost $500,000. The agents found, and this cash was stuffed in clothing at the home. He claims that this was lawful income, and he and his wife kept, just $500,000 in cash for emergencies. Girl, baby, they just kept $500,000 in cash, not in a safe, not somewhere secure, stuffed in between clothes for emergencies. Mind you, this is his second. This is the second time he's been charged with bribery and fraud. The first time, the people are claiming that he paid off the right people in the penal system, and that's how he got off the first time. But this second time, it didn't quite work out that way. Now they're asking for him to resign his seat. He's been asked to resign his seat as senator in the great state of New Jersey. Of course, he's trying to toe the line and saying that he's not going to resign his seat. But listen, bruh, let it go. It's over. It is over. It's over. Y'all lost. Let it go, sweetheart. Y'all around here selling giving people gold bars and all kinds of stuff, taking all types of bribes and stuff. Baby, it is over. Right? An emergency to escape to another country. Like, who's keeping $500,000 for emergency? Not even in the safe, stuck between clothing. You just stuffed the clothing. Girl. They done been charged with conspiracy to commit bribery, conspiracy to commit honest services fraud, and conspiracy to commit extortion under the color of official right. Just a mess. The indictments allege that He and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in exchange for using Menendez's power and influence as a senator between 2018 and 2022. Now, the $500,000 was found, quote, stuffed in envelopes and hiding in clothing closets. They did have some of it that was in the safe, but most of it was in these envelopes stuffed in between clothing, inside of their clothing, and also some in the closet. That was during the raid that they conducted. Now, the raid was conducted a year ago. We just finding out about it. They also seized 81.5 ounces of gold bars worth approximately $155,000 during the raid last June. This was June of 2022. Now, this man have been sitting in the United States Senate this whole time. This whole time. They did this raid on him over a year ago. He's known that he's being brought up on charges for over a year. I'm sure somebody down here to the Democratic Party knew that this was going on, and they ain't said nothing about it. But now that it's leaked to the press, now you finally start to hear people saying, the clamoring about, oh, well, he may need to be replaced. Oh, well, he needs to resign. Why y'all ain't get him to resign already? Because remember Al Franken? Let me take y'all back, senators, Democratic senators. Let me take y'all back to Al Franken. Remember Al Franken and the scandal with the lady, and it looked like he was touching her breast or whatever, and they made that man resign immediately? Remember that? Where's that same smoke? Because you're not worried. New Jersey has a Democratic governor. You know he's going to appoint someone for that seat that is a Democrat. And then whoever, once they have a special election, the winner of that seat is going to be Democrat. It's New Jersey. So it's not like you're worried about losing, a pivotal vote in the Senate. Y'all are just choosing not to do anything about this. And you chosen not to do anything about this for over a year. Y'all are a goddamn mess in the Democratic Party. Which leads me to my next topic. This is my last sugar spiky moment. So a lot of new polling is coming out right now about presidential elections. How Biden would fare against Trump, how Biden would fare against death sentence, Nikki Haley, and so forth. So some polls have Trump up, some polls have Biden up, but both polls only have one or the other up by like a point. Hell, Nikki Haley, if they said if she was the Republican nominee, is up by a few points. And they say that's just because most of the people didn't even know who the hell she was. And the major problem that people have with Joe Biden, why it's so close in an incumbent election, is because nobody feels like he's going to be able to serve out that whole second term. The man is barely hanging on to life. And the fact that he will not step down and he's holding the Democratic Party hostage and they're just going to sit up there and ceremoniously let him is derelict of duties on behalf of all of those people in positions of power down there to the Democratic National Convention, okay? All of the DNC, y'all need to tell Joe Biden, I don't give a shit if you are the incumbent. If somebody wants to run, let them run. You need to go out there, do the whole campaign trail, do the whole debate situation. Because remember, they came out way up front saying, oh, we're not going to have no debates on the Democratic side. Why the fuck not? The American public is not behind Joe Biden. They're not. They are not behind. The man is barely hanging on. And you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to think that he's going to make it another 4 years? Hell, I don't even know that he'll make it a year from now to the next election. And to add insult to injury, you're going to, let's be clear, the American public, white and black, are not yet here for a female president. I don't know why. I don't have no explanations why. I don't have a problem with us having a female president, but I'm telling you, they're not ready. They haven't crossed that bridge yet for some reason. And what that means is if you tell the American public that Joe Biden is just a skipped heartbeat or a skipped breath away from Kamala Harris being the president of these yet to be United States of America, that's going to scare a lot of people. And now we're going to have the same thing we have happen in 2016 when instead of electing Hillary Clinton, you bastards elected the fucking Antichrist. Now, some Democrats, you have Marianne Williamson that's running against him. You have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm not here for him. But Marianne Williamson, who I like a lot of her policies. I like a lot of her stances on a lot of things. But she's running now a Democratic representative out of the House. Has Representative Phillips, what state is he out of? Hold on, let me see what he says. He's still considering running for president for 20. He has a ruled out running for president in 2024. That's the representative. What state is he out of? Damn it. Hold on. I think it's Minnesota. Hold on, let me look it up real fast. Hold on, y'all. Let me look it up real fast. I want to show y'all wrong. I want to be wrong. I like to be wrong. Hold on. Come on. Come on. There we go. He's out of Minnesota. Yes, Dean Phillips out of Minnesota. Hey, Cams. He says he has a ruled out running for president in 2024, and I hope a whole lot of other people haven't ruled out running for president in 2024. Joseph Robinette is the wrong answer. Joseph Robinette. Y'all think that? Hold on. Show y'all how much of a problem Joseph Robinette is. Oh, he's so great. Let me show you what we got going on with Joseph Robinette. Since y'all backing Joseph Robinette with fervency and zeal. Hell, Sarah Palin came out this weekend and said, he's your representative, Cams? Okay. Sarah Palin came out this weekend and said that she said Michelle Obama is going to be the Democratic nominee in 2024. That's what Sarah Palin said. Now, this is Sarah Palin we're talking about. Nobody is paying her no mind. But let me show y'all what Joseph Robinette said. Hold on, y'all. Hold your line. We get this prepared for y'all. Hold your line. So y'all can see exactly. Hey, Omar, what's going on? So y'all can see exactly what Joseph Robinette said this weekend when they were celebrating Hip Hop 50. Listen to this mess.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been. And MC Light, both of you, thank you. Because they both have the light off on the mic, you're all here to listen to the new edition. Mike Bivens, 40 years producing music that lifts our souls.
Listen, that was not a poorly written joke where he messed up that man's name. No, that was him. That was all him because he couldn't even remember the man's name. That's the first thing. Then you think us black people are okay with you calling us boy? Let's be clear. Let's be clear. You racist ass white people, from the time that y'all brought us over here on the shores of these yet to be United States of America, when it was still not even the 13 original colonies, when we landed on Plymouth Rock, have been trying to call grown-ass black men, boys, as a means by which to demean us, to emasculate us, and to remind us that we are inferior to you. That was not a slip, Joe Biden. Because you see how he tried to self-correct himself, and then he said, oh, man, we're not laughing with you. First of all, your mental faculties can't even get you to call a man's name right. That was not a poorly written joke. That was you and your mental faculties not knowing LL Cool J or not being able to read the prompter. Because I guarantee you they didn't mess up the man's name on the goddamn prompter. Secondly, there's not a time that is ever okay for a white man, especially not a white man the age of a Joseph Robinette, to refer to a grown-ass black man as boy. I don't give a shit what context it's in. I don't give a shit how you feel. There's never a moment where that is going to be okay. I'm sorry. And this is the man, Joseph Robinette, who y'all want us to vote for. Y'all better stop playing with us, Democratic Party. Y'all better go and reopen back up the pool of people who you got that you want to run in 2024, because Joseph Robinette is the wrong goddamn answer. And don't tell me you don't have any viable candidates, because there are many viable candidates. You just don't want to choose them. Am I lying? I mean, there are, listen, Cams, there are viable candidates for president. They just don't want to choose them. And that's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. That's just the long and short of it. So, hell, I can name. You're running against Donald John. It ain't that hard to find somebody that could really run against Donald John. Hell, you could choose somebody that's already used to running against an idiot. Hell, they could pull Raphael Warnock, who used to running against an idiot. Hell, they could pick Wes Moore. But see, they don't want to hear me name a whole bunch of black people. They don't want to hear me. They don't want to hear me start naming off black people who clearly could win a presidential election against Donald Trump. John, nope, they don't want to hear me. Nope. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. Because I ain't got that type of time. We can't do investigative reporting today. We have to do wall-to-wall coverage. But do not be surprised if Donald John does not end up in jail and is still on the ticket in November, and we got Methuselah Joseph Robinette. Do not be surprised if y'all are seeing another Donald Trump presidency. Don't come over here. Do not come over here complaining, Democratic Party, because you had enough time. Hey, right, Hakeem could win against Donald John. Let me shut up. Moving on. I need to do this for my hall monitor, because I know that we have been in constant and continuous prayer with one of our head hall monitors, Tracy. We have been in constant and continuous prayer for her as she has been, draped in sackcloth and had rosary beads, and she's been in fervent intercessory prayer for her boo thing, Tory Lanez. Well, Tracy, somebody tell Tracy to come to the board. Tracy, come to the whiteboard, please. Come to the whiteboard for us, please. Because we need to make sure this is your part of the lesson. So right now, oh, this chair keeps backing up. Right now, this we have a recording. We have heard from Tory. Tory is on record on the phone, letting us know that he is good. And yeah, I just want to play it. See, hold on. I just want to play this recording for my girl Tracy, so as to let her know that her boo is doing all right. Let me get this to come up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. All right. I'm just gonna play the audio for y'all. Hold on. Just gonna play the audio. It's playing a commercial right now, so that's why it's that's why you don't hear nothing, because I got it silent while it's on commercial. Shut up. Stupid commercial. How long is this commercial, TMZ? Really? This is a long ass commercial. All right.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Hey, yo, umbrellas, man, what's good? I'm talking to you live from prison right now, man. I'm just happy to get out that bullshit county jail. They was taking on the young flies, you heard? Had me a 24-hour lockdown, half-size cell by myself, no windows, no mirrors. Can't even see himself in a whole year, yo. But with all them disadvantages against me, my head has always been held high, man. And I want y'all to know I'm in great spirits. My drive and my ambition is growing stronger and stronger every day. And I'm so proud of how y'all been moving in my support, man. I know this feels like a scary time, but don't be afraid, man. This shit don't spark no fear in my heart at all. In fact, I'm more prepared than ever. The music, the videos, and all the projects you wanted, they all ready to drop. So let's just start with the one that we want most, the Alone in Crime Deluxe.
That's right from the horse's mouth. The man say he is in good spirits. Y'all can't, ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Oh. That was for my girl Tracy, because I know she's been in fervent prayer about her boo thing, Tory. So I wanted to play that to let y'all know he sounds like he's in good spirit. He said he ain't seen himself in a year, which I could believe, because we saw the mug shot. And the mug shot, you got cotton balls, dried up cum, and all kinds of shit in your hair and shit. We could tell you ain't seen yourself in a year. We clearly see that. That we believe. Child, keep the man uplifted. I'm behind y'all. How many of I only covered one of my stories today. Oh, we did cover two. We covered LL Cool J, and we covered Crazy Bone. Let's get to Usher. So it is being reported that Usher will be the headliner for this year's Super Bowl halftime show, which I'm actually thrilled about. I'm really thrilled about this. And Usher spoke out on it. He said, this is what Usher said. Quote, 30 years ago, I made a commitment to offer my best. And here, 30 years later, now it's being rewarded with one of the most prestigious performances and stages anybody could ever play on. Quote, this is a moment that I've waited my entire life for, and I am not coming to disappoint. This is going to be a celebration. End quote. Now listen, I'm here for it. Now, if we're being honest, a lot of the people who we've seen in the Super Bowl halftime show in the last 15 years, Usher should have been on before them. Y'all can get mad if y'all want to. Usher should have had a Super Bowl halftime before Beyonce's first Super Bowl halftime performance. I think that was what, '08. Usher should have had a Super Bowl halftime before her. He was a bigger star at that time than she was. Let's just be clear. Usher should have had a Super Bowl halftime before Bruno Mars. It's the whole this the whole grocery list of people who Usher should have had his own halftime, show well before these people. You can get that. Doesn't diminish Beyonce or Bruno Mars or these other people. What I'm saying is Usher should have had a bigger had a halftime show before that. Xavier, I'm not gonna argue this with you, Xavier, because in 2008 you were probably 8 years old. We're not gonna argue this with you, Xavier. You don't have any context and history to back up anything that you're saying, Xavier. So I'm not gonna go with you on that. Right, before Katy Perry, before Usher should have had a halftime before all of them. So, but what I'm saying is, Xavier, Beyonce had not crossed over prior to that Super Bowl performance either. Let's just be clear. Xavier, I'm not listening to Xavier. I'm not going to pay Xavier any money. Xavier, I'm not trying to diminish Beyonce anything. Beyonce is a stratospheric artist now, and a lot of her stratospheric reach and crossover came because of that opportunity in that first Super Bowl halftime show that she got. Let's just be clear. I'm not gonna do this with you people who become delusional. In 2008, if you compare Beyonce's career in 2008 to Usher's career in 2008, he had way more crossover than she did. Let's be clear. He had way more album sales than she did. Let's just be clear. And we're talking pop, Billboard 100 album sales at that time. So I'm not trying to diminish Beyonce. Beyonce is a great entertainer. She's fucking Beyonce. But at that time, if you argue, he probably should have had a halftime, Super Bowl halftime before her. He's long overdue. Long overdue. Usher at this point is past his prime. Is Usher still going to perform? Absolutely. Absolutely. Usher is going to perform, but Usher's prime, Usher's peak probably was around the Confessions album. That was around his peak. Probably somewhere around there. Now, yeah, that was probably his peak, somewhere around there. But these people finna get in my these people finna get in my comment section, and they about to just argue me down. Argue me down. So because I don't. I mean, I think what Beyonce had, what, 2 albums at that. I think she had 2 albums at that point. 2. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not gonna even do this with y'all because I know Sasha Fierce was not out. It was not the Raymond versus. No, it was not Xavier. Usher's peak was not the Raymond versus absolutely. See, this Xavier explains why you cannot enter this conversation. Because if you say that Usher's peak was the Raymond versus Raymond era, you, sir, are very misguided. We're talking about that first time she appeared on a Super Bowl halftime, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 2008, wasn't it? I don't know. But now, what I'm saying is, and I think the point that is being missing is this. Remember, Beyonce did the halftime more than once. I remember vividly Beyonce being her. That's when she did the halftime by herself. But I remember her coming on with somebody. Did she come on with Jay-Z or something? Somebody, I don't know. You know, but regardless, we're happy for Usher. I'm not going to argue with Xavier. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna go back and forth with people who had the nerve to say Usher's peak with the Raven versus Raven. Xavier, just be quiet. Just do not enter this conversation, Xavier. Just please just stay quiet on this conversation. That is crazy. But now here's the thing. Right, that's what I'm saying. The first time she was on the Super Bowl, she wasn't the headliner. She was there. She came out during halftime, but she wasn't the headliner. And what I mean by that is, after that performance, even though she wasn't headlining that time, she went stratospheric, because that's what a Super Bowl halftime will do for you. You go on the Super Bowl halftime, you become stratospheric. Certainly. Certainly that's what helps out. Anyway, what was I about to say? Shout out to Usher. I'm curious to see who is gonna, make a cameo, because Usher got a whole bunch of songs with a whole bunch of people. I mean, bro got a whole catalog. Okay, bro got a whole catalog. So I'm curious to see who he has that comes out there with him. Shout out to Usher. Usher's peak was Raymond versus Raymond. Xavier, you literally typed that and meant it. Xavier, you literally typed that and meant it. That Usher's. Wait a minute. Xavier, you literally typed that Usher's peak was Raven versus Raven. I would argue that by the time Raymond versus Raymond came out, that was during the time where Chris Brown had really kind of surpassed him in terms of being the top tier black R&B singer at that point. It really was not. I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm not saying it wasn't a good album, but you saying that was his peak. That wasn't Usher's peak. Absolutely was. Now that album wasn't far off his peak. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that album was way down, but most people are going to tell you Confessions. For me, my favorite Usher album is the 8701, but that's me. That was the third album. The third album is the best album to me. 8701 is my jam. Just like, people talk about a lot of, now, I'm going to help you out, Xavier. Let me give it to you in Beyonce Ease and Beyonce Speak for you, because you need it in Beyonce Speak. I think, and I don't listen to a lot of Beyonce, but if you was to ask me what was her best album, I probably would say 4, But that's just me. I'm not saying she was at her peak, because I usually like albums that people don't like. So me saying that Beyonce's 4 was her best album is like me saying that I think that Usher's best album is 8701, and a lot of people is gonna tell you it's a lot of people gonna tell you it's Confessions. So that's just where I'm at. Anyway, moving on. I'm looking forward to the halftime show, because I just love a halftime show where somebody gonna come out there and I'm gonna know all of the songs. That's what I be here for. I need somebody that's gonna come out there and I'm gonna be able to enjoy it and know all of the songs and everything. That's just like, I saw the video right after the announcement came out. I saw the video yesterday where the girl went around her military base asking all of the people, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? And all of the white people didn't know who Usher was or what Usher was doing at 7 o'clock. And she went and asked all the black people. She just put up, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? And every black person, I don't care who it was, knew exactly where Usher was at 7 o'clock. None of the white people, all of the white people were like, who's Usher? Like, and every black person, you didn't even have to explain it. You go up to a black person, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? They gonna tell you exactly where he was and what he was doing. And if you can't, the problem is you. If you go have somebody ask you where was Usher at 7 o'clock, and you, who is Usher? What are you talking about? Wait, what? But there's a difference there. I'm just saying. Xavier always ranting and raving about some mess. What Xavier saying now? That's why Rihanna was so disappointing. Songs were like, child. Then he's dripping. He is dropping his new album right after the performance. That's good marketing. I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you. At least we get to get good music. Right. Everybody know where Usher was in at 7 o'clock. If you can't tell me that, you're not black. I'm sorry. My grandma could, reincarnate herself and tell you where Usher was. She don't even listen to Usher, but she know he was, in his drop top cruising the streets. Anyway, the CBC had their famed CBC conventions this past weekend, or it last week. You had CBC all last week into the weekend. Girl, how about they said Jacked for a couple hours was down. Grinder was down for a couple hours. Even the new one, Sniffies, was down for a couple hours. And this is all this is all and only in the DC area. Baby, listen, they had CBCs last week, and the girls was out there getting it in, honey. They said Jack went down for a little bit. They said Grinder went down. They said the new one, Sniffies, just went haywire. Because Sniffies is that new one, right? And so I don't know that Sniffies was ready to handle that capacity all in one place. Because with the Sniffies thing, this shows you, all of the people around you, child, girl. Girl, they said the girls just get their whole life. Harold, it be these girls. Oh, Harold. Harold, it's cute. It is cute here. I'll see you the link. I'll post a link for you in the chat. Or so Jeff, if you have the link, you can post it in the members only chat. I got the link for you. But it's cute. It is cute though. Because you could go in there either anonymous or you can make a profile. It's real cute. It cuts out all of the, trying to know. You can pinpoint right what it's cute. It's cute. I like sniffies. It's kind of cute. Especially when you out of town. Like I be out of town all the time. You can just turn her on and say, oh, okay. This is in my area. Okay. It's cute. It's real cute. Yeah. I kind of like it. It's cute. I've had it, I want to say since like June. I first got introduced to it in like June. And so I've been playing around with it since about June. Anyway, but they say the girls were doing all of the things down to the DC. But CBC, listen, some of the best parties. Listen, y'all want to talk about the Republican Party and they sex parties that they have every week? When the CBCs come to Washington D.C., baby, those parties be legendary, honey. Yeah. Let me be quiet. Moving on. The girls had themselves a good time down in DC at CBC's last week, honey. So, in the top story of the day, in the immortal words of one Reese G, the girls girling, you got two, one bottom and one verse bottom fighting over a double-headed dildo, and who's going to take more of the double-headed dildo? Drake and Charlamagne the God going back and forward. Girl, I just don't have the energy. If you notice, what I don't have the energy for is y'all's new the 2023 version. I blame Xavier because Xavier and his generation has made Krishan Rock and Blueface the new school Jay-Z and Beyonce. So we're expecting Gen Z to know anything, and these are the people who made Krishan Rock and Blueface the 2023 Jay-Z and Beyonce. Thank Xavier and his generation for that. Anyway, moving forward. I didn't say either one was verse. I said, well, one was the bottom and one was the verse bottom. There's a real difference. Now, the question is, who's the bottom and who's the verse bottom? I'll let y'all argue that one out in the chat. Who's the bottom and who's the verse bottom? But they're both fighting over a double-sided dildo. Girl, these girls are going back and forward like two schoolgirls going like this. Listen. All of those people that you named, Xavier, pale in comparison to what y'all got going on. Pale in comparison. You say Drake gives a verse bottom team? What does what mean? Oh, I forgot we have Xavier and our other people here. Okay, so a bottom is somebody who plays defense. Okay. So what I mean by playing defense is they do, they're defending the territory. They have territory that the other team tries to score into. Now, offense are the people scoring. They're driving into the end zone. Okay. Defense are the people defending the end zone. Okay. Special teams, they can play both sides of the ball. Now, you can be a special team specialist where you just verse, or you can be on the kickoff team with the kicker where you kind of a verse bottom, or you could be on the kickoff receiving team, which is kind of a verse top because you're trying to score or get as close to scoring as you can. You don't score a lot on a kickoff return, but every now and again, you have somebody that return one for a touchdown. So that would be verse top. Now, every now and again, you know what I'm saying? A verse bottom is, I think you get the picture. Okay. Just saying. I think I got the verse tops and verse bottoms wrong. I did. So the verse tops is the ones who always is the one who's kicking the ball. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's the one with the kicker on it. That's a verse top because they almost always stop the person from running it back. Now the verse bottoms are the receiving kickoff on the kickoff return, and every now and again, or the receiving a punt, and every now and again, once every so many games or so they might run one back, but it's not normal. It's kind of rare for them to run one and score into the end zone. So that would be your verse bottom, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, so we ain't trying to be all graphic. We're trying to equate it to football. So when you hear me say somebody plays the offense, those are your tops. They're scoring into the end zone. Somebody playing defense, those are your bottoms. They are defending the end zone and trying to keep someone from scoring. You have your verse people who can play, kickers generally are, completely verse. They can play both sides of the ball. They usually don't get involved with it. Any way the wind blow, they're here for it. Okay. No, we got to be graphic like TI-84. Not the TI-84 graphic calculator that everybody had to have in their trigonometry class. Everybody had TI-84. I had the TI-83, and then I upgraded from a TI-83 to a TI-84 when I got AP Calc. Anyway, and then when you have verse tops versus verse bottoms, that's how you explain it. The verse tops are usually the ones who kicking the ball. Very seldomly, the team kicking the ball gets scored on. Every now and again, they do get scored on. The receiving team every once in a while may go and score the touchdown. That's how you do your verse tops and verse bottoms. Everybody kind of understand? We all here now. You with me now? Jason, did I correctly help you understand, for the people that don't understand all the terms? So we got Charlemagne the God and Drake. One is a bottom, slap bottom. One's a verse bottom. I'm gonna let y'all figure out which one is a slap bottom and which one is a verse bottom. To quote Miss Jackson, I'm the one doing the I hated having to hunt down those calculators. Child, you weren't shit in my class. If you ain't have your graphic calculator and you just a regular girl, we looked at you like, ugh, who the fuck are you? And why don't you have a graphic calculator? Even though those shits used to cost like $100, that was a lot of money back in the day. Just saying. Anyway, so Charlemagne the God has had a hard on for Drake since God was a child. Drake is in his fifi. He said, why is he concerned with me? I ain't never had no smoke for nobody. Why is he bothering me? Who is this off-brand Morris Chestnut that always got smoke for me? Now, I don't know why you had to drag Morris Chestnut in here. Morris Chestnut is over here minding his goddamn business, and you had to drag Morris Chestnut into this. Now, the other part of it is Drake. Listen, Drake. Drake, it would be one thing if this were another rapper that was coming at your throat all the time, but Charlemagne the God does radio, pop culture radio. All he does is report on and talk about y'all and people like this. You should expect that a troglodyte like a Charlemagne the God, who comes from the journalistic tree, remember where he comes from. Who did he used to work for? Fucking troglodyte ass Wendy Williams. Charlemagne the God was was under the tutelage of Wendy Williams. What do you expect from him? This is what he does. Trash ass news, gaslighting journalism. And I don't even know how you even let him get your panties in a bunch to the point that you need to do that. Charlemagne the God is human excrement. Let's just be clear. He's walking human excrement. Why are you even responding to this man is not even in your same tax bracket. He shouldn't even be in the same airspace as you. People, according to the numbers, Drake is one of the most successful artists in music history, according to the numbers. Why are you even addressing him? Now, I have who I think is the bottom and who's the verse bottom. Oh, girl. Because Charlemagne was referencing Drake's sexuality, said it's only gay, straight, and then Drake. And I was like, girl, Charlemagne. It's Charlemagne, girl, but girl, I don't have it to do. If I'm Drake, I'm not even addressing this. But I'm just trying to figure out how Morris Chestnut got drugged into y'all beef. Morris Chestnut ain't bothering nobody. You know. So let me read. This is from TMZ. And this guy, this was updated 30 minutes ago. Drake has earned his 12th #1 hit with Slime You Out. That sounds so disgusting. The most ever amongst rappers. Charlemagne the God's prediction that nobody was checking for the song were off, way off. Drake is finally firing back at Charlemagne after years of sneak disses, with the Breakfast Club's hosts' critiques of his new song, with SZA being the final straw. On Monday, Drake emptied the clip in his IG stories, addressing Charlemagne by his government name and accusing him of harboring envious emotions. Excuse me. Here's what the Drake story said. Are you okay, Leonard? You kind of weirded me out, G. Like you really obsessed with me or something for years. Like you look in the mirror and you wish you saw my reflection type shit. Whatever you got to do to let it out, I'm sure your 435 loyal fans will stand by you. Will stand by you, you fucking goof. That is what Drake said. If I'm being honest, I'm channeling Ebby reviews. Where's my sis when I need her? I'm channeling Ebby right now. I don't really care. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is a bottom and a verse bottom fighting over a double-sided dildo, deciding who's going to get the thicker side and who's going to get the skinnier side. Because you know the double-sided dildos, one side is thicker than the other side, if you did not know. Just for you sex toy connoisseurs, they usually have one side that is thicker in girth than the other side. Go check. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't care. Right, Jimmy and Leonard, we're sick of them. I don't care. I've never been a Drake fan. I've never ever been a fan of Drake ever. Like I get his music sounds like ASMR, and I hate ASMR. His monotone singing, rapping, whatever, it gets on my nerves. I can't do it, and it's the brown noise for me. Like I feel my bowels moving when I hear his voice. Anyway, The other celebrity news, and I guess this will be our last story for the day. Nobody cares, but I guess this in more nobody cares news. Well, two stories, three stories. I got three stories. One nobody cares news. So I'm gonna forever call them trailer because these people are white trash to me. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey are allegedly dating. She went to his football game yesterday where the Kansas City Chief dog walked the Chicago Bears. I mean, they ain't dog walked them as bad as the Miami Dolphins curb stomped the Denver Broncos yesterday, or the way Oregon mollywopped Colorado and Deion Sanders over there. But still, Taylor Swift was in in Travis Kelsey's boot suite or whatever. And from what I understand, they literally took her out of the stadium in one of the carts they used for one of the popcorn carts. They hid her in one of the popcorn carts to let her out of the stadium so people didn't mob her or whatever. But so according to social media, their couple name is Swelsey, her last name being Swift, his last name being Kelsey. The white people are going with Swelsey. I'm calling them trailer, Travis and Taylor, because they're trash. They're trailer trash. These are white trash ass white people from the trailer. They'll always be trailer trash, so I'll call them trailer. I'll call them trailer. How about that? Sure. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, So Jeff. So allegedly, according to the Jasmine brand, his ex-girlfriend, the black girl, Kayla Nicole, she says she's received an influx of Instagram hate comments since he started dating trailers. I'm saying Taylor Swift. Let me read this from the Jasmine brand. Travis Kelsey's ex-girlfriend, Kayla Nicole, is learning that Taylor Swift fans do not play about her. NFL player Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift reportedly have a budding romance, which has unfortunately caused a little trouble for the professional athlete's ex, Kayla Nicole. As previously reported, Travis and Kelsey and Kayla Nicole first started dating in 2017 and had an on-again, off-again relationship for 5 years. After they finally called things off, rumors surfaced that they broke up because of Travis's cheapskate ways. But the man didn't want to break her off no money. Let me get to the part that we care about. Now it seems that Travis has moved on and is getting to know Taylor Swift. This Kelsey Swift speculation started. I don't care about that. I want to get to the part where these people are bothering this black girl. Amid reports of the alleged connection between Travis and Taylor, Swifties have been flooding Kayla Nicole's Instagram with hate comments. One person sarcastically asked, quote, "Girl, you okay? How are you doing with Taylor Swift being next to Kelsey's mom?" Another person wrote, "All that just to get dropped for Taylor Swift?" Another person wrote, "Such vicious, miserable comments trying to pit one woman um, against the other. What does the color and shape of either of them matter? They both have their own talents. Maybe not your particular taste. Let people live. Grow up." Another comment said, "I am a huge Swiftie, but you best believe I won't be putting this beautiful woman down ever." So you had some people that was coming that was trying to support um um what's the girl name? Kayla Nicole, and then you had some other people that was trashing her. They go on and on. It's a whole bunch of comments. Somebody check on her. She's hurt as fuck after today. That's what somebody put underneath her comments. Somebody put Taylor is much classier. Clothes look much more elegant on her. Somebody put, "Damn, Kelsey upgraded big time. You fumbled the bag in so many ways." Yeah, and it's an endless sea of comments. Yeah, yeah. So white America is doing what white America does. White America is doing what white America does. I'm just saying. Anyway, the Writers Guild has a reportedly negotiated an agreement with so the writers, it looks like the writers strike is about to end. They've reportedly negotiated an agreement with over in Hollywood with their negotiations with production companies and the such, which is promising because the SAG Screen Actors Guild is saying that they're going to hopefully use that as kind of a blueprint for their negotiations that they're having with production companies and so forth. So, um, yeah, so that's promising news. And then in another story that's not so good to hear, Bruce Willis's wife went on Good Morning America. I believe she was on Good Morning America, and she talked about what he's going through. You know, he's having advanced he's having a form of dementia. You know, there are several iterations and forms of dementias, Alzheimer's being one of the, you know, forms of dementia and so forth. But he has a different one. But she went on saying that, you know, from day to day is you don't know whether or not he knows what is happening or what people are asking him. Physically, he hasn't started to decline. No, he's not married to Demi Moore anymore. Let me get you the wife's name. Hold on. Her name is Emma Hemming. Emma Hemming. Um, but yeah, she said that she doesn't quite. She's not at the point yet where she considers herself his caretaker. She's more his care partner. But she says he is declining. Um, and that, you know, day to day, um, you know, it's give or take whether or not he knows what's going on. He's pretty much lost the ability to make decisions for himself, um, as opposed to having outright memory loss. So, but she's pretty much his. They had a specialist in that particular disease that was on with her, and they kind of gave context. He has frontotemporal dementia. Frontal frontotemporal dementia. That's his specific condition. So we're praying for him. If you've ever dealt with a loved one that goes through dementia, it's crippling. It is something I don't wish it on anybody. I've done it before. And it is something, it breaks your heart to see this person gradually just decline and to know what they were and then see the decline. It's quite heartbreaking, and it takes very strong people to be that person that's the day to day caregiver and have to witness that and watch that. So, my thoughts and prayers are with Bruce Willis and his family and loved ones who are continuing to support him. Um, we'll continue to pray for them for strength because that's what they need right now is strength. So yeah, Bruce Willis has been very unproblematic. He's a great actor. You know, you'll never hear him in no scandals or whatnot. You know, he never been, you know, had any, you know, real problems or beef and stuff like that. So, like I said, you hate it for the good ones when they have to experience things like this. It always reminds me, remember the the only good Tyler Perry movie there ever was is The Family That Prays with Alfred Woodard and Kathy Bates. And it reminds me of that movie. If you remember, Kathy Bates ended up getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And they went on that last trip across the country, that road trip. And she said, listen, I wanted this to be my last hurrah. She took herself out. She said, before I start to forget and before, you know, I decline and I don't know who anybody is, she said, I'd rather go out on my own terms. and just, you know, do it. And I always remember that. And I understand it. I definitely understand somebody said, I like Xavier. I didn't stutter. I don't have speech impediments. I said he had one good movie, and that was The Family Got Praised. I don't have to. You need me to reiterate that? You need me to make a sign? One good movie. That's it. That's it. Why does Xavier do this? Why do you take? Why do you do this to me, Xavier? We about to get out of here, y'all. I've been out here almost 2 hours, and we about to get up out of here. Listen, I had a good time with y'all today. Good time with y'all today. I got a lot of stuff to do. Anyway, um, I got some things to do. I'm late for a meeting at 7 o'clock, but I'll be there when I get there. Um, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. I'm not Beyonce. I'm not a fan of hers either. But I'm not a fan of Beyonce or Janet as an actress. Mm-mm. I'm not a fan of Janet's acting. She has some roles that fit her better than others, but I'm not the hugest Janet fan of her acting. Some roles are better than others, but as an actor, I'd rather her as an entertainer than an actress. And this is coming from a Janet stan. I'm a realist, unlike you delusional ass behind people. Anyway, put some shondos in the chat before we get out of here. I have enjoyed y'all today. We have had a great time. We made it all through all of the stories in the dossier. I told y'all it was a packed dossier today. We really couldn't spend a lot of time on everything. There were some things that I needed to cover more, but I couldn't because we just didn't have it kind of time. But nevertheless, we're here. So I hope y'all enjoyed today. We'll be back tomorrow doing what we do tomorrow. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. I know Really B went earlier live. Is she supposed to go live again for a tribe meet? I know she was live earlier. Anybody know? Let me look. Let me look, because see if I can send y'all over there. I'm real hungry. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat tonight. I done got hungry. I want something good. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see any lives for her set up. So yeah, I don't see anything as of yet set up. So I'm just gonna assume that maybe she's not gonna, because I know she was live earlier, talking about um Xavier's people. Yeah, I don't see anything scheduled. So we just gonna, just gonna bow out gracefully. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing what we're doing back again tomorrow. All right. So listen, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out.